All right, joining us now to further unpack this is SABC Group CEO Nomsa Chabeli. Nomsa, great to have you with us in studio, although under these circumstances. So talk to us about what exactly transpired with the Afrikaans bulletin not being able to go on air.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation for the SABC to be able to just give clarity to what transpired over the weekend. I think it's critical for me to reinstate that what transpired was actually a scheduling error. It's the news team was on standby to actually go live with the bulletin. However, just before they went live, they realized when they were looking for the ad breaks that they were not on the schedule. And this is due to a miscommunication that took place internally regarding the scheduling of the Afrikaans bulletin itself. So it is not because the SABC was in any way deprioritizing Afrikaans over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Now, there is a belief that the SABC was deliberately removing the Afrikaans content from its platforms, but you've just said this is not the issue.
No, this is not the issue. If this was deliberate, the news team wouldn't have been on standby, and they were on standby on Saturday to actually deliver the bulletin. This is an oversight. I think it's important for us to understand that the SABC is a public service media broadcaster. We are responsible for ensuring and protecting indigenous languages in South Africa, and it's a massive role that we play. If you look at just in terms of our public broadcast mandate of informing, educating and entertaining South Africans. So this is a very important part, and Afrikaans, as per the ICASA quotas, when it comes to indigenous languages, is also, also plays a very important role there. So you've got the majority of indigenous languages that are spoken by the majority of South Africans, and then you've got the marginalized languages where Afrikaans tends to form part of that. But not in any way does the SABC consider Afrikaans not to be an important language. It's actually spoken, it's the third largest language in South Africa from a speaking perspective.
So, Nomsa, what is then management doing or going to do to avoid related incidents in the near future?
I think really the reality is that there will be consequence management, because something of this nature should never happen. Because we do have checks and balances to ensure that the schedule is watertight, and the schedule is the one place where, scheduling is actually where we make our revenues. And therefore, the schedule is something that as management we guard very jealously. But I think what's important as well is the fact that currently the perception is that the SABC doesn't care for a specific language, which is not the case, which is something that I must say. But at the same time, we must as SABC apologize to the South Africans that were negatively affected by the non-delivery of news. And I think what's important is to say that the news, obviously, we've got the news bulletin from Monday to Friday. We've also got the news bulletin from Saturday to Sunday. The one that was affected was just Saturday and Sunday. Monday to Friday, if you looked yesterday, it was actually on air. So what's important for management is to ensure that this episode is not repeated. But what's critical as well, I think, is more education internally in terms of the escalation of such occurrences, because genuinely the escalation did not take place. I think the team felt that they could manage it internally and ensure that by Monday they're back up and running. But the most important thing is that it is a misunderstanding, and as management we are actually taking the responsibility and ensuring that it doesn't occur going forward.
Nomsa, thank you so much for that clarity on SA Today this afternoon. That is, of course, SABC Group CEO Nomsa Chabeli, just clarifying the reasons behind the non-flighting of the Afrikaans bulletins over this weekend. And this, she says, was due to a scheduling error and not due to the fact that SABC is sidelining Afrikaans news bulletins.